Alright. I am here. Once again. Once again. Well, let me... well, I'm trying to find things. There we go. Okay, that I have this. Okay, nice. Oh, actually, I'm not going to be stealing movement code anywhere. Let me, I decided that I should suffer today, and I should do UI keyboard navigation. I could do some fun stuff, like working on movement. Well, fuck that. Let's do the boring shit on stream. I've been doing interesting stuff on off stream. Let me come on stream and do the most boring stuff possible. Let's go, let's go. Hold on. Mm -mm. Oh, I forgot to fucking... Here we go. Okay. I just need to put on my light and then I'll be good to start the camera. I have so much shit on my table. I'm very organized, guys, don't worry. Okay. The light. Yeah, forget the light. Alright, I think I'm good. Oh, that's my camera controlling thing. Hello. Oh, hold on. You're not allowed to see the table. There you go, I think that's good now. Hello. And let me... yeah, I was like showing someone how to make a decent character controller right before the stream. I was in the Godot voice, like the Godot engine Discord voice chat, and I feel bad because like there was another guy also trying to give advice, and I kind of steamrolled over them because I didn't want to be late to the stream. I don't know. I feel like I should have just been like, okay, I'm gonna be 15 minutes late, and then just did slowly, but whatever. Here we are. I've made my choices. Okay, build sprint 5. Oh, yeah, I can't... I'll have better keyboard navigation than GitHub Desktop, right? That's the goal. So I can't fucking use arrow keys here without it being reset for no fucking reason. And now it doesn't reset for no fucking reason? Okay, good. Yeah, that is interesting. Oh, there's a bunch of shit that I haven't committed yet. God damn. Okay, let me commit this and then start on the keyboard navigation. It's actually pretty good that I started with opening GitHub Desktop instead of coding, because this would have been kind of annoying. Uh, sure, I'll add that there. And oof, this is input stuff. That's fine. Did I actually do the thing correctly? Let's see. Yeah, okay. Fix this last pressed. I don't have is just pressed yet, but that's fine. Okay. Okay. That's fine. That is fine. Yes. I might change it so we use something else that I use 16 for tracking how long you've pressed the button, like a U32, because that shit is never gonna go through the network anyway, so I don't have to minimize the size. And if I use a U32, then it means that I can reliably do some arithmetic on the amount of time that a button has been held. But with a U8, I can't really. Like, if you hold it for a few seconds, then it's gonna saturate. And I use saturating arithmetic on that. I feel like it shouldn't fucking wrap around. Anyway, let me push those, and let's get started on the actual thing. There we go. And we need XSED. There we go. Also, I just realized I have my notes on screen, so I should switch here real fast and get my notes out of here. There we go. And then also this here, here, here. There we go. I just have an urge to wave all the time. It's just such a fun thing to do. Oh, interesting that it was cleaning first. Okay, XSED, source, game, maybe also UI dot rs. And how do we actually pass keyboard input here? That's one question. Like, I want to do a thing where we press tab and then it goes into there. And we should not spam the console with so much print. I want to print some other stuff related to UI. I don't need to know about physics. So we will comment out some physics debug print. These can be commented out. This can be commented out. Almost like I should have like flags for these prints, and then I can disable and enable them at will. Actually, I kind of want to do that right now. Why wouldn't I do that right now? Okay, so instead of commenting these out, I'm gonna have and these can just be optimized out whenever the constant is false. Oh. There you go. And then we just say if sure. Yeah, if stream. So true. Maybe I just call it physics debug print instead of enable. Whatever, I'll do cargo format anyway, but I still want to manually indent this. There we go. We have some 3. There we go. And then we need this thing. Oh, there's also this here. And how do we comment that out? What is... Oh, okay. I was misreading this as the closing tag for a print, but no, it was the opening tag. And then you should be able to do cargo format. It's there. Oh, there's some changes here just because of the formatting, so I'll ignore that for now. These are also just purely formatting changes. Food, and then run cargo formats. There we go. And now, if I run the game, I should get debug print. Yep, we get all the debug print you'd ever want for debugging physics. But if I want to work on something else, and I don't need the physics debug, we set that to false. Yippee! And we can see some other stuff. Also fun stuff, well, I have double jump, but another thing is that when we launch the game, well, even before we launch the game, when we compile, all of the textures the game uses are packed into the executable. That used to be not the case. But it also tries to then dynamically load textures from a folder called textures. But if I went into the source folder and ran from there, I'm pretty sure it... Yeah. Also, why are we not seeing anything? It's my... Oh, because we don't have the save. We don't have the save either. If I hit click host server, then we get this thing. Like, we actually get the thing. Yeah, dude, I was like, is the thing that I made broken? No way. But now I was just... The saves folder also was missing. Not just the textures folder. But I love this system. It's good. I have no idea why Rust is printing so much shit here. It's a bit annoying. Oh well. Anyway. Now, the actual meat and potatoes I'm looking for. Let's get on with it. So we have our UI, and we say receive text inputs. And we just pass it to the UI. If we press tab, what happens? Like, we get a tab character as the text input. Wow. Who would have thought? That's good to know. Just gets passed. What if we do shift tab? Like, it doesn't say anything. With control, it says that we receive a tab. Why are we not receiving shift tab? That's a bit annoying, question mark? Hello, Ben. I don't know if I mentioned in the voice call that I was going to be streaming and I'm gonna be alive here as well. I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Um, Still have next week school, and then exams this week, then summer. Very good, very good. Exciting. Then I will have too much time to program. Dangerous, dangerous. Oh, okay, okay. You get the notification every Saturday. And then you don't come here. You love me. Oh, wait, well, anyway. Uh, Fair enough, fair enough. You just get a reminder that I'm alive. Dude, I'm curious though. Have you have you noticed how consistent it is? Like to the minute, just second. I'm thinking it would be pretty funny if like the notification became like somehow a part of your routine, even if you didn't come to the stream. It's like, oh, it's this time, this day, this time. Thank you, thank you. But how have you been? What have you been up to? Okay, also, what am I doing? We have this thing, window event, and then we want keyboard. Okay, keyboard input. Oh. Drink water reminder. Okay, I'll have to keep the streams up so you don't get dehydrated. Another reason to keep streaming. So true. Yeah. But I feel like it's this just keeps happening too. Like about the job stuff. Some I don't know, it would be better if you just had it be stable, but at least you can find a new one. That's good. That is very good. Oh, there was something on my mind that I meant to ask you that I immediately fucking forgot. Hold on, what was it? Oh yeah, okay. So uh for like Wayland doesn't have device events except for mouse motion, right? And I realized this when a friend of mine tried to test the game, and then the movement just didn't work because Wayland doesn't have device events for keyboard input. It's like, okay, what the fuck? And now that's the preamble. Now, what I did to fix that is this. We just removed the environment variable for Wayland display. I could do this in a slightly better way, where I just don't have the Wayland feature of WinIt. And then, they'll just fall back to X11 because of that. But I don't know. It's like a part of me is thinking that I should. No, it does, it does, it does. But you have to use window events. You have these window events for keyboard inputs. You cannot use device events because Wayland doesn't give you device events for keyboard. And I can't remember the reason why I started using device events. There was some reason for it. I should have written it down. I don't remember it. But now Wayland is like, fuck you. How dare you want device events? It's like, bro. So I don't know. I'm kind of stuck between fuck Wayland and then let's support Wayland and just use window events for everything. Because I'm using window events for text input anyway. So I just wanted to throw that out there and see what your thoughts on that are. uh, maybe. Oh, there was okay. Actually, there was like at least one issue with window events, but it's like such niche shit. It's like you have the game window. Hold on, I'm actually demonstrate this. Like you can have the game window. Then if you have, I need a smaller window. Let's have another window here. Let's have it be always on top. And then if I capture the mouse, it used to be the case that if I like clicked a button, then it wouldn't register because this window was in the way. Like this window wouldn't get the input, but it would block the game from receiving the input. Doesn't happen with device events. Happens with window events. So I'm like, okay, well, device events are superior. Lol. It is a very niche bug. But it happened to affect me personally because I was doing some shenanigans. I know. But I. So I guess you, as the voice of reason, are telling me just use window events for everything. That's fair enough. Whenever I get around to that, I'll first remove Wayland support and make everyone fall back to X11, and then I'll think about when that's a problem, I'll change it. So true. And also about the contracting company, I did see it, and it was nice to see Selleck there as well. Our shader wizard. Because I was reading the page and I was like, oh, the language. I was like thinking, oh, like the language here is implying that there's multiple people here, which is kind of like meh if you're doing stuff alone. I think like if you're doing stuff on your own, then I think the text should be a little different. But then I realized that, oh shit, you actually do have multiple people on board. Like that's awesome. That is great. It was a nice moment. You realize that. Okay. So we have this here. I'm just gonna print the event, I think. Let me first just print everything. Uh, I wonder if we get no event for this, or if I'm just somehow filtering it out. Yeah. Like you can have someone who like wants some, like let's say someone wants some shader stuff that Stellic would be, you know, the guy for. You can negotiate the terms and whatever, and then go to Stellic and be like, "Yo, I need this shader." At least that's kind of what I'm assuming. Because I'm not getting repeat events for shift, but I am getting the for tab. But we are getting the actual event for tab. For some reason, I'm not passing it through when we're pressing shift. Why is that? Yeah, fair enough. Let's see. Oh, is it that shift tab doesn't have valid text and then it doesn't get passed through because of that? That's fair enough. And I guess I should have a thing here. I'm thinking of doing like a kind of scuff thing where oh, the editor disk said it's the default text editor that comes with Linux Mint. And I like using the mouse and just typing stuff. I feel like learning Wim motions isn't worth it. That's why it isn't Wim. Also, I like how I have this old to do here that's completely outdated. That's awesome. Okay, yes. If I press enter, do we get keyboard inputs? I mean, we get keyboard inputs, but do we get a new line, is the question. We get the fucking line feed. Sure. I'm thinking that I'll track shift being pressed, and then I'll insert some control character in front of the tab character so that I can detect it easier. No, not Z. XED. Um, Gram editor. Okay, I'm gonna click on it just to see what it is. What are you letting me know about? Okay. Looks like Visual Studio Code, which is eh. Um, yeah. It seems. Well, what's the like elevator pitch for this, except for the frog? Why would I be using this editor over any other? Oh, Zfork with the AI stuff. Okay, okay, fair enough. Um, Hold on. But what about? Well, I could just do this, right? Surely I'll get around to. Oh, I fucking cargo cleaned this at some point and I never rebuilt it. So let me actually not bother building it. Uh, it's still very in progress. And honestly, the only thing that I'm missing in XED is the ability to highlight a piece of text and then press a hotkey to highlight the next one and have multi-cursor editing, right? I don't know if there's anything in XED for multi-cursor editing. I sometimes open Godot for multi-cursor editing, right? Like that's the only thing I'm missing. If I had that, holy shit. Like the editor has everything that I need. Honestly. It's just the multi-cursor editing that's missing. Just that one little thing. Uh, Actually, can I fucking detect if control is being held from the events themselves? Why am I doing this? Like, why am I doing that? Was it from mouse events? Question mark? Let me see. Uh, like if I press Control A, what is this? I get some fucked up character here. That's awesome. But if I try to do text input, Control A, okay, it just gives me A. Okay. Well, I'll just do Shift the same way. Okay. Oh. Yeah, but I mean, with Vim, you don't really need multi-cursor. You can just, like, do the... Like, you basically just chant a spell and then Vim does what you want, is how I see it. Right. And that's cool. But that's not how my brain wants to process text. Yeah, but you see, I have to study the arcane fucking methods. Also, let me see. Right, like I wouldn't type text and not study how to type text. Is that fair? I feel like it is. Okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say for me it's I mean this might be good if I was like I mean no, I was gonna say this would be good if I was learning C. Well honestly, if I was to do that, I think I would start by like doing everything myself. Like without a guide. Like figure it out. But if I go stuck, or like if I have like a working version but it's kind of bad, then it's like, well, okay, let me look at the thing, right? Like the guide. It's also fun to like figure stuff out. Like, oh, how should this actually be solved and whatever. Like some of the fun gets skipped if it's like, uh yeah, and that's fine, right? I think there's value in implementing the bad version and then seeing the good version. Because if you just start with the good version, then it's like, oh, okay, well, we just do this. Unless the guy like explains it well. But there's value in like doing the dumb thing first, and then discovering like, oh, okay. Granted, I've seen some stuff about the data structures like in a computer file video, so I wouldn't be discovering it completely on my own anyway. Um, okay, okay, fair enough. Hmm. And but one way, I mean, I think the representation that some editors use is that you just have a linked list of lines, you know, and and you just edit the line. And if you go to another line, then uh, I think it should be fast enough though. I mean, linked list or like Vec or whatever, you know, like you're not gonna be editing a file where you need more than that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's is that how web developers think? And then we have bad software. Asking for a friend. It's, don't worry. Oh, what am I doing here? Okay, we have control left. Where is this keyword coming from? Oh, never mind. I'm silly. It's not a keyword. I'm assigning the thing to the variable. No. Yep, yep, yep. Just copy that. That's fine. Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. I don't know if I already had that mindset. I feel like I get the feeling that I didn't. But it's like my bad. I forgot to blame the companies, right? I forgot to blame the companies. That is actually my bad. Um, yeah. But I do think that being in that environment also affects you as a person, right? And it changes how you approach things. But ultimately, like, the root cause is the companies. Okay, we have that now. We still have the problem of we will have the text as being none here. There's gonna be an empty string. So we want to somehow detect like, oh, we're pressing shift and tab. Hmm. Oh yeah, mm, mm, like how to say, at some point, um like there's web dev technology in Rust. Like if you look at Tauri, Tokyo isn't that bad. I've lessened my negative opinion of Tokyo ever since you linked me that video about how it works, right? I don't remember if I watched it completely, but I did get like better understanding of it. But yeah, I don't know. But I don't really look at enough Rust code to know if they would, or any code really, to know if people just grab packages all the time. But I know that's not me. I don't do that. I don't do that. How many packages? Well, let's. There are quite a few. I do have to say. If we go to the vendor folder, how many folders is this? This is 350. Yeah, but this is everything. These are all of them. Uh, I think most of these are because of WGPU. And if I was using Vulcano, I would have way less, right? If I wanted to minimize the amount of packages, I would get rid of WGPU and use Vulcano. Is what I'm saying, right? That's what I sometimes think about that. And it's like, also, how would I like minimize the binary size? Maybe WGPU is bloating it. Maybe. I could probably check that. Uh, I'm also thinking maybe I should pass control inputs as something else than text. Maybe. Maybe they should say handle UI input or handle keyboard UI input, and then I can pass control character shits as well. But dude, that's 20 packages. I'm actually look at my cargo.com. Yeah, and logger log. I mean, technically, I wouldn't need these in the final build. Okay, fair enough. This is needed for WGPU, graphics. Yeah, I mean, I could get rid of Rand, honestly. I don't think I need Rand. I wonder how much that would. Yeah, num traits. I was lazy. Forgive me. Actually, do I even use num traits anymore? I do use num traits. Okay, like 4 places. I could do that myself. Honestly, I could do that. I know, but it's like, but I'm taking this seriously because uh, I want to get rid of the packages. Oh, I want to get rid of the packages. I don't want to have them. I want to have as little as possible. Oh, are you gonna tell me that Winnet is the root of all evil? That's awesome. Hold on, let's check. Okay, so this is most of my dependencies then. Most likely. Yeah. Time to talk to the Win API and X11 and Wayland directly. So true. So true. So true. Okay, let me actually uh do this shit. We're gonna not have just text input here. We're gonna have an enum that no. It's I appreciate the chatting. It's good. Uh let's see. What do we have enums here? Dude, this file is a fucking mess already. Whatever. We'll keep making it a worse mess. This should be in UI actually. Enum UI. Oh, we already have UI inputs. Where? Oh, this is for these. I guess I should just add to this. I should have this here. And then I should have that. Okay, so we're not gonna have the UI input here. And then we're gonna get rid of the text input, maybe? I'm in the wrong file. That's fine. Or then we'll just call this function whenever we receive text. Like, we'll make this not public. When the UI input with text is received, then this function gets called, and that's cool. Yes. Think that's fine. Okay, where do we handle general UI inputs? Okay, here we go. What is happening here? Oh. Okay, this wants it to be like that. That's fine. 7-Eleven. I still don't have an intuitive understanding of lifetime parameters, so I'm just doing this and seeing what happens. Smile. Now we have to do this as well. We're not going to directly give text inputs. We are going to make a UI input that has text in it, and then we'll pass that in. So this to-do is outdated. That's fine. And I could just show you now that yes. Okay. And instead of saying this, we will say text what am I doing? Oh yeah. Let's see what the error is. Capitalization first of all. It appears to be fine with this, which is surprising, but I'm not complaining. I don't see an error for 875. That's good. We'll do the same here. Oh, I have to borrow it here. That's fine. Alright. And now 869. Nice. Oh yeah. Let's put this into a block. Ooh. Maybe this will work. Okay, somehow fucked up the stuff. Maybe it's just... No, it's not that. These are balanced. Oh, I have an extra one there. I guess there should be an option, and then if we don't match anything, then we say none, but let me just do that. Hopefully that works. It doesn't like that, which, fair enough. Probably not gonna like this either. Yep. Yep. Borrowing issues. Smile. It appears to be complaining about it for all of these. So I probably just have to change the thing to be a string instead of a stir. This is in game.rs. I was kind of thinking this might be the case. But now we know that it's the case. Now I don't have to borrow here. I can just do that. We should have less errors. Yes, we have 4 errors. That's now 877. Yep, 2 string. That's fine. Oh. Oh. Yes. Then 880. Right, and now we just have these errors here. And we need to go here, 881. Let's make the first thing. Fuck it. UI input text. Well, this is the only error. Okay. And now we shape. That should just work. Yep. We have the same functionality as before. Awesome. And nothing's broken, right? I can hit escape and it does nothing. Hidden delete does nothing. That's fine. I should probably focus this. Yeah, hitting delete inserts the delete character, which is great. Okay. Let me commit this stuff. Now I realize that there's a slight potential issue, but I'm gonna ignore it. And I'll say that tabbing in text fields is not a thing, question mark? Or is it? Like, if you're in a text field and you press tab, I think that should just go to the next field. I'm not gonna have, like, fucking code editing in here. So it's gonna be fine to kind of just always handle the tab as a control character, I think. And I just think everything here belongs. I don't know how to change anything. It's fine. Now I just need to do the tabbing. Whatever. Guess it's just gonna be a. I could just have two separate ones, or like focusing the next element and then focusing the previous element. Also, actually, Ben, if you're still here, what do you think of the setup that I have with the camera in the center and text being on top of it and whatever? I'm curious. I've grown to like this setup quite a lot. I think it's neat. Adjust my screen a little more. There we go. Okay, game UI input, focus next element. Yep, they're not covered. And when are we gonna construct these? Is the question. Okay. It's gonna be in here somewhere. I just need to detect the correct situation. I guess I could just detect them here and make this a default case. If not, well, not, it's not quite what I want. I also have I don't care about shift there. Okay. And. Guess I'm gonna also look at the actual key code here. For V, we don't care about the key code. And for text input, we don't care about the key code. Now I need a thing. Hold on. Oh, okay, I see, I see. So this handles text if control is pressed. I should probably... I'll make it explicit here. And these are already going to be matching everything. So I'll need to match everything special above these, so they don't get eaten by everything below. So if I press tab, it's going to get caught by either one of these. But shift tab wouldn't get caught by those. That's fine. I think this is a valid key code, hopefully. We don't care about the text, actually. And we do care that it's pressed. Or actually, we can just handle it as a variable. And then... we don't care about control. We do care about... That's going to be a case to handle. I didn't mean to do that. To do that. Okay. We do to do here so it doesn't complain about the types. Yes. Okay, this is valid. So everything I just typed is good. Presumably. Okay, and now we have tab. Oh, but we do want this to be pressed. Yeah, we don't do anything on tab release. We only do it on tab press. Okay. Here we go. I'll reorder these just so a bit more neat. Alright, nice. So now we detect the tab press and we actually like give it forward, right? That's good. And then I need to handle this in game.rs. Very good. I'll add it here. UI input focus next element. Then UI input focus previous element. Awesome. And I should just tell the UI, oh, focus the next element. Should have something like this here. These functions don't exist, so we're gonna have some errors now. But it's fine. I'm gonna amend this commit. I'm gonna push that and then commit this. I'm gonna amend that before I push it. But I want to have a clean slate here on the changes tab. It's fine. Okay. Now we go here. And what do? We add functions. So we need to implement this for UI element. Hmm. It's gonna need a mood shelf. Oh, actually, where do we have the focus path? Where do we store that? UI path. Whomst are you? Oh, it is in the UI state. Okay. Okay. And what is UI state exactly? UI state is UI state. Okay, who are you? Okay, UI state has that, and then it's holding UI element. Oh, okay. I'm saying, what am I saying there actually? So I think usually what I do is I say self.ui state dot current UI, and then I handle the thing. Yeah. We tell the element to handle the mouse click, but for focusing, we need to do something a little different. We need to actually just parse the UI states, kind of. Let me think. So the functions are not necessarily going to be here. Okay, I'm kind of imagining a scoffed method where I take the innermost uh, index on the path. Let me actually show what the path is like. And then this will make a little more sense. Need to be in game.rs, and then comment these out, and now we can run the code. So, when we receive UI inputs, this is the UI path. And what this means is that we have the first element in the UI, which is the free container, which allows us to place this container here, and then this container here. And then, so we have the free container. Oh, actually, if I do this here, okay, I'm speaking bullshit. So the free container just is the element, and then this container here is the 0th child, so the first child, and this is the second child. So when I press something here, we say that it's the child at index 0, and within that child is the child at index 7, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Makes sense. If I go here, this is the child at index 1 on the base root element, and then, if I click at 33, it's 41, apparently. What is 10? 10 is 18. Oh yeah, because we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H at the start. That makes sense. Yeah. But all these kind of just line up, right? So what I'm thinking is that I will take the path and I'll just increment this number here. And then if the path is invalid, then we'll increment the number that's next from that. Questions mark? Is that smart? Or maybe the UI elements themselves should handle this. I tell the UI element, oh, we want to focus the next child that you have, or the previous child that you have, and then the UI element can respond with, okay, boss, I did it. Or it can respond with, I have no more children in that direction. I think it might have to be that. And then we return the UI path. How do we ever get the UI path, actually? I'm curious. Selected element path equals sum. Okay. So when we click on stuff, we just get the UI path. Okay, fair enough. That's fair enough. So I guess I should say focus next element, and then also give the UI path. And then it should be all humpty-dory. Yes! I think so, I think so. Okay. Let's slash. And we want it to be sum. I mean, yeah, we say sum here and then we do the else thing. Actually, no. We say unwrap or, and then we just make it be a fucking 0. But this might need to be a vec. Yeah. Oh. Yep. Yep. For this here, copy paste the same thing here. So if we have no UI path, then we assume that we just have the first child focused and nothing else. And I think that's fine. Perhaps. Well, let's test it. We did this, we did this. We need to define the other method as well. Shouldn't complain anymore. Oh, it does, because I never wrote this. And then we need to make this take in the argument. Ooh, okay, yeah, and we only need to borrow this. Sure. Oh, it's fucked. It's fucked. It's because the unwrap or I should be doing match. I always forget that that shit never wants to work properly. I'll just fucking copy paste this. Whatever. Whatever. I don't care. He really cares. There we go. Sure. Expected effect. Oh, yeah, 'cause it wants. But if I do this now, then it will be like, oh, but you can't do that. Actually, it's gonna be freed. Oh, it doesn't complain about that. Very cool. Very cool, very cool. I don't need you open anymore. I don't need you open anymore. Those are fine. So now, this is going to be somewhat similar to handling text inputs. On text input, it receives just an iterator thing. How do we handle text inputs? Oh, we just say UiPath or iter. I might do that there as well. Yes, how delightful. Oh, that would mean that I can just pass a fucking empty vec here. What am I thinking? That's fine. And we say dot iter. And we need to change the argument type we have here to be this thing, this monstrosity. Oh, I fucked up here. That's fine. Okay. Alright, nice. Now everything compiles. Yeah, these are going to be the same function, but slightly different. This is probably going to be just... I'm probably going to change it so we have one function and then an argument there, which handles the direction. But for now, I'll just go with this. Handle the one case where we focus on the next element. And we say focus next element. We don't need the bounds really, but I think we just get the bounds anyway. Are they passed in? They're not passed in. We really don't need the bounds here. Oh, not there. I mean here. Let's just do like... How many errors do we get? Some amount, not too many. We don't need that thing. We need that. Oh, yeah, we don't have text. True. We just pass in the UiPath. And then this is 238. Yes, and for button, we don't really care. Okay, so if we have no more to go, then we need to do something else. And that's a to do XD. This compiles, and that's good. Let's see. Some child bounds, child, yes. So if this child is out of bounds, then we just do nothing, which is kind of meh. ideally our keyboard focus navigation always goes in bounds if it somehow gets out of bounds. And I guess this should just return if we had a child or not. Like, was it successful? Is basically the signal here. Yeah, and we do the same shit on handling scroll. Child a tab. And then if child a tab, then we say true. I guess we just return the thing implicitly, and that's fine. We just say that. And here we say false. It's not exactly like this. Actually, it should be here like this. I can need the element. Okay. Mm-hmm. Hmm. If out of bounds, then we say false. And we didn't eat the tab input. It's fine. Well, we don't really modify the UI path anywhere. We can't even return the UI path, really. How do we do it in the mouse stuff? Handle mouse click. Okay, we have multiple option shits here, and then we have the UI path. So I guess I'm gonna have a return type, which is bool, and then combined with the UI path. Maybe? Maybe. The cooking is happening. Okay. So now everything is always going to pass false and none up the chain. That's fine. We don't want this to just be passed. Okay. Let me input this so we don't get the error. Okay. And now if our child didn't eat the tab input, we have to handle the tab input. If our child did eat the tab input, then they're going to be returning us a UI path. So I guess, honestly, I don't need the boolean. I can just have the option, right? I don't need to have the boolean. I don't need the boolean. And we'll just match on this directly. I'll actually do the sum path first because it's going to be shorter. We don't exactly do it like this. Okay, so we start from the last child. So the path is going to be first, right? Question marks? How do we handle it in mouse? Okay, so we're building the UI path here. Okay, yes. So we need to kind of have two things going on at once here. We have a UI path that we're traversing, and then we need to have a UI path that we are modifying. Maybe, perhaps, this should... no, okay. We could have this here, and then we build this as we go. Or then we just return a reversed path. I think that's also fine. And then we just flip it when we receive it. And I was looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, we just return a reverse path. That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It is fine. Okay. So our child did something, and now we need to add the child's index into the path. Yes. I think we have that there. And then we return the path. And we say to do here so we don't get an error. Okay. I dereference it. And then we need to say sum path. Some moot path. Okay, sure, buddy. Buddy. Okay, it doesn't complain anymore. Now I need to handle the actual thing. The boilerplate is done. Well, it's still logic, but it's kind of boilerplate-y. And now I just need to handle the actual logic. So what do I do here? I need to handle every container, kind of. I guess we need to know if we're on the last. No, we don't need to. We know that we're on the last thing if we just have none here. Let me run the game so I can look at stuff. Oh, it's gonna give me an error. Yeah. I want to look at stuff. So we have the UI. And we go to the free container. Free container goes here, and then we go to the bonds. I press tab. We handle child. We go to this container here. And then we handle child and we go to the bond. And the bond doesn't have any children. So, well, this is also going to be none. Like the UI path.next is going to be none. So we just return none. And even if we got to the button. Oh, okay, well, it would be this here. We'll be handling this path. So the bond returns none. And now we're in the vertical list container, and we're at this branch of the code. We need to increment the child index by 1. I think that's it. And we need to know how many children we have. Yeah, we just need the child count. Yeah, we just need the child count. It actually doesn't matter what element we are. We just need the child count. Yippee! Okay, sure. Is it len or length? Okay, it's not complaining about len. It's just complaining that we return nothing. I added to do here. Funny. I can just write code and have good compiler outputs. Okay, so we have child count. And now we will have our child index plus 1. This is the next element. And now match. Well, I don't really have to do that, but I'll... Okay, so if 0 to child count, I think it contains then we return the actual path. And so we'll start with the modified child index, and it's going to be sum. Else, none. And we don't have the 2 there. This needs to be a thing. I think the modified child index will have to be a borrowed thing. Yes. As we're assuming that we will not have empty slots in the middle, and I think that's valid. I don't think that's going to be a thing. Now we have this. And then we do rev, and then collect. I love Rust bullshit sometimes. And then we say self.ui state dot selected element path is new. I guess I need to first match on this though. So it could be none. Then we do this. This shit here. I guess I just say sum here. If the thing returns none, then we'll have none as the path. That's fine. It's actually fully fine. Yes. Yes, it is. Ooh, and we just need the semicolon. Fuck. I did M. capital M instead of semicolon. And cargo format. And now, it should technically work. So it's time to select this, type A, press tab twice on type A, and it fucking works. Holy shit. Now let's click on this. Okay, then it goes to path 1 and doesn't kind of do anything. I guess it doesn't recurse down into the other children. Okay, so that needs to be fixed. Okay. I actually don't want this to be none. I just want the child index to be 0 by default. Yes. Indeed. So I don't need to match on self because I do the same thing for every element, and I don't need to match on the index because I'll just get 0 if it's nothing. So we don't need the match statement. We don't need the last branch here. We don't need this here. And we don't need this here. Okay, this wants to be borrowed. Sure, whatever. And then say self, and that just fucking works. That is awesome sauce. I like how I thought that I would have to handle every element like separately, but that isn't the case. Yippee! I can tab all the way through. Yep. I'm so happy about that, actually. Holy shit. Okay, I should make a commit since it works. I'll squash those in a moment and then kind of review everything. But I should also make focus previous element, which is going to be the same function, except that it will do a -1 instead of a +1. -1. And I guess, if this is already 0, this might underflow. Okay. Okay, we return none in this case, and then for everything else, we do the thing. I guess I could just do checked arithmetic instead of this bullshit. Checked sub. We have this. Oh, I meant to tab into my terminal. There we go. Oh yeah, don't want an arrow there. And it's gonna be I. Right, okay, I guess I could just do the question mark here, honestly. Because if it's none, then we just return nothing. Yeah, yeah. Might as well use the shorthand. And it appears that I unbalanced the braces. It should be balanced now. Oh, they're not balanced now. Okay, nice. Not everything's neat. Oh, hello, Alex. Hello, hello. I see. You've been lurking here, listening to the conversation. Yeah. Yep, yep, yep. And I don't know, I feel like it's kind of the opposite. Oh, I mean, I don't know what you mean, but what I mean is that adding a lot of dependencies means that you compile those dependencies, but I guess what you're saying is that if you split things into multiple crates, then compilation is faster, right? Because I have read some stuff about like some people like improving compile times. Yeah, by splitting into multiple crates. Yep. Yep. Indeed. Oh, I didn't mean to fucking overwrite the thing after formatting. But yeah, thank you. The thing that you see on the, like, hold on, how do I point? There. The thing that you see there, in that direction, is the previous version of this code base. I do want to get back to that. No, it is not on Steam. It is, like, not even close, right? My estimate for release is 2 to 8 years. But we'll see. Hopefully faster than that, like, hopefully faster. But this is very much like a hobby thing. If it ends up being something that makes money, great, right? That's kind of the. Oh, and thank you for the follow. But yeah, it's how would I say? I do have a jam game up on Edge, and it's the Voxel Dungeon game. Nearpodic.com/voxel-dungeon-game. You can play that. That's out. But yeah, the story is that on the parkour game, I got to the point where I would have to make content, right? And then someone mentioned like multiplayer, and then I was like, what if I made the game multiplayer, right? Like I don't need it, but what if I just did it, right? It shouldn't be that bad. And then I realized that the architecture was shit for multiplayer, right? It just would not be good. So then I started rewriting. And here we are. And we indeed have multiplayer. I did not. Okay, I'm glad that I don't have that commit. I assumed that pressing up would give me cargo R-R. And if I do that, then hold on, how do I capture mouse? There we go. Yippee! I have the thing. And this works over the internet. It's worse over the internet, but it does work over the internet. You can maybe see a little bit of it when I jump, where the client always predicts forwards in time, and for context, I'm not sending over game state, I'm only sending in player inputs, right? And then the simulation is deterministic, and everything kind of just works, right? This has been... I've been building this for a while. And, yeah, I'll see. It's kind of terrible over the internet. There's, like, too much latency, and then you predict too far into the future, and the extrapolation just makes things look awful. But I'll try to fix that. But the multiplayer works, right? That's a good thing. But right now I'm trying to make the UI work better. Okay, I can't select the previous element for some reason. I probably just don't call the function, honestly. Let's see. But actually, I'm curious. Are you working on a game project? And if you are, what is it? Let's see. Let me... I have to remember to not push these. Or then I'll just force push. You know, whatever. Ooh. Oh yeah, we're dropping frames now. Usually that does not happen. It might be my connection. UDP. Anyway, yeah, we are dropping frames like mad. Okay, let me restart the stream actually. Alright. Okay, we're still dropping frames. God damn it. God damn it. Hold on, okay. Yeah, 65% dropped frames. I'm gonna restart my connection. So hopefully that fixes the issue. I'm gonna be right back again. Alright, let's see. Third time's the charm, and it seems to be fine. Now all I need to do is just restart my router. I don't know why it went mad, angry, grumpy. Let me refresh the chat window so it actually looks correct. Then dismiss the Crunchyroll advertisement. There we go. Yes, alright. I don't know, it's also suspicious timing. Like, as soon as I tested the multiplayer, it's, my connection just died. I don't know if that had anything to do with anything, or if it was a coincidence, but... spooky. Anyway, what was I doing? Bum 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 bum. Also, let me actually see if this actually works. Let's see. Can I see my own stream? Okay, nice. Well, you can see the stream. That's good. Oh, and I'm gonna have the keyboard inception there. That's awesome. Yes. But, yeah, I just send packets, right? send to, yeah, and it's also not like I need to optimize the network usage. I do try to compress my packets a bit, like just by, like if I have player inputs and the player is just holding W for 30 ticks, and we want to tell the server that, we don't need to send information about every single button press for every single tick. I could just say that, oh, it's these inputs, they're held for 30 ticks. Here you go, right? And that's it. So I'm doing like kind of like custom compression like that. I'm not using any deflate or gzip compression right now, because I would need a dependency for that. And my thinking goes, what if gzip has a vulnerability, right? Then my program has a vulnerability. That's bad. But that might be too paranoid. I might have to give in on that and just use gzip. I don't know if I'm gonna implement the deflate compressor myself. We'll see, right? But that's one of the reasons that this project is taking so long and is gonna take so long, is because I just avoid dependencies like the plague. Partly because of paranoia and partly because I like doing things myself. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Is the game that you work on like, is there a web page somewhere where I can read more information about it? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, okay. And also, I'm curious, actually. How did you find the stream? I'm really curious. Okay. I don't, this like capsule art looks so familiar, but it's probably because it looks like the capsule art for that one town builder game that's just burnt into my mind for some reason. I don't remember the name of it. Let me check this though. Mm-hmm. The art is good on the. I guess this is the capsule art, and this is. I don't know what these are fucking called. I don't do enough Steam. Okay. Is this without an engine, or are you using like Bevy or some other engine? I don't know if you already said that. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Okay, okay, okay. Nice, nice, nice. Very neat, very neat. So I guess I don't know if SDL has like UI stuff. Are you also like doing all of the UI yourself? I love when I try to click on an image and then I fucking drag it because I just move my mouse a tiny amount. Okay, okay. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah. How would I say? I'm not really interested in making UI, but it's also I'm more interested in making UI than using a UI library. The UI is not the interesting part, but still, you know. In the last version that, hold on, you can see up there, I don't have UI basically at all. Like I just have a command console, and now that I haven't worked on that version for a few months, I've forgotten most of the commands. Uh, yeah, yeah. Maybe having UI or like autocomplete for the console is valuable. Oh, I see. I could just read the page. Nice. What is this? looks cool. Okay, okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, well, if you do UI for work, I'm gonna bring your work to you. Um, nah, it's would you mind if I like explained how this UI worked and then you gave some like just thoughts basically on how I structure this? Because I think that my UI system is at least decent. Okay, so actually, hold on, I forgot. I can flex and do a pretentious thing where I draw on paper instead of GIMP. Where's my paper? Hold on. We're cooking. We're cooking. Here we go. I even have my fucking pen ready. Let's go. So what I do is that I have oh dude, this fucking shit is so awful. That's fine though. This is visible. Kind of. It's kind of garbage, honestly. I would okay. To do, get a better pen. Right? We'll do GIMP for now, just because that's it. This doesn't draw well, right? Defeated. Yeah, but it's like not good quality, right? If it did like thick black lines, awesome. But like those are weak lines. Weak lines. I will not settle for those. And also it was kind of like if I'm not oh hello, you can see me while I'm drawing. That's that's funny. Um okay, I lost my entire train of thought. I didn't expect to see myself here. Anyway, yeah, like the also to, like get a good line, I have to like fucking drag it on the paper. So the drawing, like the feeling is this bad with that. I need to just replace the pen. Anyway, so what I do is that I have a like some window size that I start with, and then I define a rectangle within there, right? So actually, let me make it more centered. Fuck, I cannot draw. So we have some rectangle defined here, and all the values are between 0 and 1? Questions mark? Let me check. Yeah, they are float values. Yeah. So everything is between 0 and 1. You know, this is 0, this is 1. I think the top is 0. It doesn't matter which way, right? But you just define some boxes here, and you basically just tell a UI element like, okay, these are your boundaries, fit in there, right? And if this is like a vertical list, then it will take its boundaries and then it will take all of the children and it will just have some internal logic there and tell the children like, oh, okay, you're supposed to fit within this boundary. Do that, right? And it does that for every individual child. The thing that's kind of missing is that I can't have like a expandable section easily. I think, or let me actually think. Like, could do that. Like, a child could go outside of its boundaries if it wanted to, but it wouldn't like cascade to the positions of the other children, which is bad. That's kind of the one limitation. But otherwise, it works, right? Like we just have rectangles, and then the UI elements have logic for like placing children within their bounds, and everything kind of just works. I don't know if there's really anything to comment about there. It's like such a basic system, but it's the difference to how things usually work is that usually in UI systems, the actual element holds its own rectangle as data, but I don't do that. It's that the element just gets told the rectangle that it should occupy, and then it like gives its vertices, or it handles a mouse click within that boundary. But it doesn't really what do I put this? The container holds the data for the children's boundaries, I guess, is the difference. The UI elements then don't hold their own position and size, but the parent holds that. Yeah, kind of. Oh, actually, let me think. Is it just... It might just be Flexbox, honestly, and I haven't thought about that. That's funny. Mm-hmm. Because I don't do a lot of web dev. I have done like I've done this. Sorry for the colors. Well, there was like an event where I had to like sell stuff, coffee, tea, whatever, and I didn't want to calculate in my head, so I made like a really simple thing, like a calculator for that, right? That was fun. And all of the positions of those buttons are basically hard-coded, because I could not be arsed to figure out the layout stuff. I was like, yeah, fuck it. Just make it work. Okay. Um, I'm assuming that you're talking about this game here, and not the thing that I showed for 2 seconds. And. It does scale, alright. It does scale. I do pass the screen size in there as well, but like, yeah. Well, that's a to-do, right? That is indeed a to-do. I haven't figured it out yet. But at least for the text, I do want to make the text maintain the aspect ratio. Like, it should just be square always, right? That is indeed a thing. But that's for the future. Yeah. Oh, and also, actually, do you want to guess how I do text rendering? That's so... It sounds so familiar, but it doesn't... Like, I cannot tell you what it is. Okay, let me check. Yes, this has been linked to me before. Yes. Yep. Let me see. Yep. If I was if I didn't have the fucking... What would I say? What's the word? I remember the Finnish word for this, but not the English word. Holy shit. Anyway, if I just didn't want to write everything myself always, then I would probably look into Clay, right? Okay. And yes, it is. It is. It is always monospaced. But I could make it not monospaced, but that's kind of work. But yeah, it does. But I'll give you a clue as to how I'm rendering the text, right? That'll be a big clue. Also, I don't have Nemo open anywhere. I'm gonna do that, and then I can open a folder here. We have this suspicious font file. Yeah. And would you guess? I've made this font myself. And how do we know where the characters are? Yes, yes. We just mapped the fucking coordinates manually. Let's go. Ay, ay, ay. But hey, it works. It works. It was funny because I saw some fucking video on YouTube, or at least like the title and thumbnail, and it's like, oh, texture rendering is so complicated and so hard, and you know they of course go into like the subpixel rendering and whatever, and having the sign distance fields and shit. And I'm like, text rendering, it's so easy. You just fucking blip the thing on screen. Smile. So simple. So easy. Yeah. Okay, I should probably have some kind of thing for displaying which UI element is focused. But I'll do that soon. Focus, previous element. Do. Oh, this is gonna be a bit spammy, but that's fine. And then here we do focus next fired. I think the previous is never firing. Oh, my bad, my bad. It is firing, but I'm stupid sometimes. Uh, we since we copy pasted this, we say focus next element within the focus previous element thing. Yeah, that might be the cause for the problem. You know, we're still okay. We're firing focus previous, but then nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening? Hmm. I was I could do check that here as well. This is a very curious though. We should be going to the previous element. Yeah. Now we're here. Focus previous fired, and then we just don't fucking do anything. What the hell? What is going on? Child index. Yeah. Are we supposed to get the... No, this should be fine. I guess I need more information. And... Okay. Let's see the output of this. What's happening? We have this. Hmm. This happens, and then we should go here. Some classic debugging here. I'm gonna have fun after the stream because I'm gonna have to stitch together the two streams that kind of, yeah, got interrupted because the connection issues. Okay, let's see what the print is. The focus previous fired. Child index 0. Focus previous fired. Okay. Okay. So we do these, and then we go into the child's things, which fine. Oh, do we just not fucking use the result? Oh my god. Oh my god. Everything works like it's supposed to, but then we just don't use the result. Yeah. Maybe this is why people say, you know, like dry and whatever. Okay, so it should work now. I just love calculating the result and not using it. Okay, yeah, we can indeed do keyboard navigation now with tab. Awesome, it just works. And I think it's starting to be it for the stream. I'll just commit this, and then I'll think if I want to make this not suck in terms of the code, right? And not like repeat everything. I'll actually make I'll make this go there, and then these will be squashed. Keyboard focus navigation. That's what it should be called. And I think that's fine. Squash him. Now let's review. So we have focus next element, focus previous element. That's fine. And yes. I'm looking at game.rs code. What am I actually doing here? Oh, okay, it's the new path that I'm looking at. Okay. Yes. Yes. And I don't think I have to do this. I guess I do that. It's fine. It's fine. This is fine. It could be half as many lines of code added, but it's fine. And this also could be half as many lines. We could have one boolean here, and then instead of doing checked add, we would do, like, we choose if we do checked add or checked sub based on that one boolean. That's fine. It's whatever. And here we have a bunch of stuff. And this is fine. This is all fine. Let me just test that pasting text works. And if it does work, then this is kind of Donskis. And I pasted the wrong thing because for some reason I pressed Ctrl C and it doesn't register. Yep. It indeed doesn't work. Awesome! I didn't break the previous thing. And no changes in progress there. So it's time to push. Yes, it's I'm getting hungry. That's if I was stream maxing, I would just go eat and put the stream on BRB. But I don't feel like doing that. I just want to go eat and then also do other stuff during the day. Not just stream. And let me think, what is next time? No idea. Maybe movement stuff. I'm making the player controller actually better. But yeah, thanks for checking out the stream and hanging out and talking about your project as well. Always good to have people around. And you can find all of my streams archived. They're currently on YouTube at neopathic.com/streams/archive. You can find my schedule, which is 6 a.m. Every Saturday, Helsinki time. And, you know, you can see the link for the schedule. And there's an offline chat on Matrix at neopathic.com/streams/community. And you can join up there. And yes, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.